speaking of the Western White House stuff, in the New Year's Eve of '72, and I wasn't working that night on night patrol or anything, but I heard the story later, which was an interesting story. There had been some divers out west or seaward of the Point Divide Coast Guard cutter, which was anchored on a big buoy off the Western White House because the president was in residence. And later that day, the Secret Service, or later that evening, Secret Service received a call that there had been some limpet mines attached to the hull of the Divide. And they had noticed, the Divide had noticed some divers in the area earlier that day. And so nobody was going to take any chances, so they sailed the Divide into Dana Harbor, right down there near the old pier. And somehow they got hold of Phil Stubbs, and I think it was Dave Vick and Al Lavien. And I don't know if there was anybody else involved or not, but they got there with full scuba gear, and it was their job to go underneath the Divide and inspect the hull. And I guess a bomb expert was flown in by helicopter from the Western White House, and so they didn't find anything, but they made the thorough search. And there was that kind of stuff that, if I hadn't just somehow inadvertently found out about it, you would have never known that that kind of stuff happened.
Yeah. Well, that's really not in the job description either of lifeguarding.
No.
But that's the way lifeguarding turns out sometimes.
That's right. I mean, we had a dive team, we had a cliff team, we had different things, and there was another time, we'll jump ahead a little bit, when a Marine had drowned down at Red Beach off Camp Pendleton, halfway to Oceanside. And for whatever reason, the Marines, hadn't been able to find him, and they were pretty sure he was out there floating somewhere, and they obviously wanted to recover him. And so we got a call from Camp Pendleton, and I remember Phil took the call, and there wasn't really any negotiation, but he suggested that the CH-47, that long helicopter, come and land at the upper parking lot, which is right down near the Marine Memorial. And so we had that parking lot cleared, and they flew the chopper in, and Phil, I think Lou Matthey, and a couple other guys got on board the thing with full scuba gear and all, and they flew south, and they looked and looked and looked until the CH-47 had to return because it was going, bingo on fuel, and they dropped him off in the parking lot. But then Phil told us that, on the way back, he was talking to the guy with his helmet, and talking to the pilot. He said, "Hey, what can this thing do?" And he said the guy gave him just a ride that was unbelievable.
Wow.
almost looped the chopper to impress him. So there's another thing that wasn't in the job description, but stuff like that just worked out.